My motivation is simply wanting to have the best opportunities for our children. First and foremost, I'm a retired school superintendent. I grew up in Birmingham. It's home for me. Product of the Birmingham City Schools, and I had a very successful foundation. God first, my parents second, and the school system helped me to get the results that I want to get in terms of my career. I see our school system as one where our children are not getting the preparation and the diligence and the opportunities needed to be successful. I want to see collaboration amongst the leaders in the school system, particularly the school board. That's where it starts. If you have leadership at that level, then certainly you can filter that down to your superintendent and your principals, teachers, et cetera, and then the students are the beneficiaries. I just feel that I bring experience, I bring knowledge, and I can really show leadership at that level in terms of knowing what to do, in terms of helping our newly appointed superintendent who's still learning the job. And I've been in that role for several years. I've trained board members. I've been a successful superintendent in 2 different school systems. And I just want to bring that experience back so that children can have a world-class school system and have what I had when I was in Birmingham Public Schools, the opportunity to compete against the best of the best in the world and to be successful and live a productive life. I want our kids to have that, and I think they're sort of shortchanged right now. Well, I serve on the Birmingham Planning Commission, so we do a lot of that with the Birmingham Reading and Birmingham Planning Initiative. Basically, I would characterize the quality of life here as being good, but at the same time, we all know that the quality of life and your economic status and your communities are all predicated on an excellent school system. So the improvement should be the schools first and foremost. And once you have that, then you're going to have economic development, you're going to have a lot of attractions, you're going to have residential development, and you're going to have a surplus in terms of enrollment in your school system because of those qualities, as opposed to a reduction of 1,000 plus students every year. So I think the quality of life is good. We have a lot of great things here in Birmingham. Our school system needs to be at the very top, and that's where the priorities need to be. Very good question, and I feel that the reason for the lack of success in Birmingham City starts with, again, leadership. The board is there as a fiduciary board in terms of making sure we have the finances necessary to produce quality results. Certainly, every school needs to have highly qualified and professionally certified teachers. We don't have that in Birmingham right now. I taught for 11 years. I know the classroom has a tremendous impact on students. So it starts in the classroom, and we have to make sure we produce the best teachers, provide the professional development, but most importantly, make sure they're qualified. What I would do as a board member, I have 1 vote, it's unilateral, but I would show leadership in terms of the superintendent, mentoring, knowing what we need to do, what we have to do, work with my colleagues on the board to try to encourage them to see every decision that we make has to be predicated on students and not politics or anything else. So I think it starts with leadership at the top and making sure we have people with experience who can guide the way, because I'm not going to be one on the board learning the job, I know the job. Very good question, and first and foremost, as a school board member, we have 3 responsibilities. Fiduciary, hiring the superintendent, and hiring the board attorney. What I would like to do is make sure that we have a 5-month surplus in funds in the general fund budget, which would equate to $85 million. Now, why do we need that? We need that because when proration comes or when the state falls short of ad valorem taxes and they can't fund the schools like they should, then you have to depend on your general fund budget. Also, that allows you to have the flexibility to hire extra teachers where needed, make small classrooms, and basically allow you to do some discretionary things you can't do depending strictly on the state. I would make sure that, again, we have the most qualified people in the classrooms. In Birmingham, we have too many people on, quote, emergency certification or baccalaureate certification, which gives you a time frame to get certified as opposed to coming in already certified. Problem with that? If the teachers don't meet those requirements to get that certification, then they are going to be non-renewed or terminated. You start all over again. You don't have that problem with certified folks. When I was superintendent, I never hired people that were not professionally certified, and it paid benefits for our students, and it would pay benefits for the school system and the community. And thirdly, we have to have stability in leadership. Right now, it's just a revolving door. And we have to have someone in the seat for a long period of time that's going to make the transition in terms of what the board expects, and we have to give that person time, but we have to know how to evaluate, and who knows better how to evaluate a superintendent than someone who's been there. I like that question. I have served as superintendent of schools in 2 different school systems. I'm an educator, first and foremost. I taught for 11 years. I was assistant principal for 1 year. I was the school principal for 8 years. I was named the National Distinguished Principal for the state of Alabama. And I was a hearing officer. I was a personnel coordinator. And the bulk of those jobs were in Birmingham. And of course, I worked in 4 different school systems in the state: Greene County, Birmingham City, Eufaula City, and Midfield City, where I retired. I'm certified in finance. I'm certified in curriculum. I've gotten a lot of professional development in Alabama Associated School Board training. I've been trained by the Birmingham Business Alliance, Birmingham Education Foundation, in legal matters, in curriculum, in finance, in ethical matters as well. So I feel like I bring all of those qualities, let alone the leadership experience, where I've done many things as superintendent, from getting schools accredited, getting tax referendums passed, to leading teachers to higher and higher heights and so forth. So I feel like that distinguishes me, but most importantly, I know education.